She's not She's not online. So send me that link. I'll send. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can I give my introduction, sir? Self-introduction,
No, can you hear me?
sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, got the information that you are interested in taking the classes, and here, the tutor goes to the student's place and teaches the student. So, you are comfortable in that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And which standards can teach?
I can teach mathematics very fluently, sir.
Which standards?
Um, from first class to from 10th class.
Okay, first
10th
class to
standard.
10th class.
10th
Okay, so
standard.
10th class. And the subjects that you can teach?
Mathematics, physics, chemistry, social, whatever may be the subjects I can
Okay,
teach, sir.
so all subjects you can teach. And do you have any teaching experience before this? Have you
Yes,
taught the
sir.
students? Uh,
Yes, I have already the teaching experience of 1.5 years, sir, from engineering colleges.
Okay, okay. So, experience in school or private tuitions?
In tuitions, no, sir, but in
Okay, tuitions or school?
colleges, sir, engineering colleges there, na, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I
So, there,
experienced in that engineering colleges.
so engineering colleges you teach. What subjects you teach there?
I am from electronics background, sir. I completed my MTech in electronics.
Okay, so you teach in a college.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, and what about the school students?
Up to now, I am not dealing with that students, sir.
Okay, school
School
students you have.
students.
Okay, school students you haven't taught so far. So, are you familiar with the CBSE and ICSE syllabus?
Okay, sir. Yeah, I
Okay,
can deal.
okay, you can teach. Uh, in 12th, mathematics, they have calculus is there, trigonometry is there.
Yeah,
So then apart from that, three-dimensional geometry, vector algebra. So
vector algebra, yeah, sir.
okay, so you are familiar with that. Do you have a pen and paper with you right now?
Sir, do you?
Pen and paper.
Yeah, sir. One minute, sir.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so like in 12th standard mathematics, do you know what are the topics or the chapters they have in mathematics?
I think
In calculus, the derivatives is there, application of derivatives, integrals,
vector
application of
integrals,
integrals, yeah,
vector
differential
differentiation.
equation, differentiation, and all. Suppose if I take one problem in differentiation, they have that product rule, quotient rule, and all those things are there.
Okay.
Can you tell me something about the product rule? Like, suppose if we have a function, say f of x, which is a product of two function u and v, then what will be the derivative of the function f of x?
Sir, one second, sir. Sir, u into dv plus v into du. U into dv by dx plus
Uh,
v into du by dx.
du by dx. Okay, that will be that. And similarly, that chain rule and all these things are there. Say, suppose if we have a function, say y is equal to or f of x is equal to sine of square root of x.
Sine square.
Sine of square root of x. So, what will be the derivative of this function?
Sine exponent. Sir, cos of root x by root
Hmm.
cos of root x by root 2.
Okay, cos of root x by
Root 2.
root 2.
Yes, sir.
What will be the derivative of square root of x?
Square root of x. 1 by root 2, no, sir? 1 by root 2.
1 1 by root 2.
Yeah.
Uh, how will you get 1 by root 2 for, can you show like which rule will be using? The function is y is equal to square root of x.
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, sir. 1 by 2 root x.
1 by 2 root x. So 1
1
by
by 2
2
root
root x we are welcome. So these things then apart from differentiation, yeah, they have the application of derivatives. Application of derivatives is there, and in application of derivatives the question comes like maxima minima problems,
Yes.
increasing and decreasing is there, rate of change of function is there. Now suppose any function is given, suppose a function f of x is given, and we want to check the intervals in which the function is increasing or the intervals in which the function is decreasing. So what we generally do in these type of questions?
For that questions, I have to calculate the maxima or minima, sir.
No, the question is not about the maxima and minima. The question is, suppose any function is given, say f of x is equal to 2x square plus 5x plus 7. Any function is given. Now, we want to know the interval that is from minus infinity to plus infinity, the intervals where the function is increasing and the intervals in which the function is decreasing.
is always quadratic expression or any higher order is also there.
Any function. It can be quadratic, it can be cubic, it can be any higher order.
Sorry, sir, I
Or
don't.
yeah, similarly integration. Integration is there. In integration, the application of integrals is there, like to find the area bounded by the curve, right? Now, suppose if we have two functions, say f1 and f2, two functions are there, and we want to find the area between the two curves bounded by f1 and f2. So using integration, like how will we will do this problem to find the area bounded by the two curves f1 and f2?
Sir, the function is given now.
The functions are given. One
And the
function,
functions
suppose
are given.
two
And I
functions are given. One function is say you take x square minus 5x plus 7. The other function is say f of x is equal to minus 2x square plus 3x plus 9. Two functions are given and we want to
the
find the
line
area
joining points are also given now, sir. So based on those line joining points, you can
No,
calculate the
suppose the
integration.
points are not given. We don't know the points. Only the two equation of the two curves are given. Equation of the two curves are given, and we want to find the area between the two curves. Apart from this calculus, they have like the probability is there. In probability, the conditional probability is there. Bayes theorem is there. What's the meaning of that conditional probability?
Conditional probability means probability of A given B, sir.
Probability of A given B.
So
What will be
probability
the
of A
probability?
given B equal to A
Hmm.
intersection probability of A intersection B by P of B
Probability of A intersection B,
divided by probability of B.
probability of B. Okay. And Bayes theorem is there. Bayes theorem, any idea?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. And apart from that, the topics like matrices, determinants,
Uh,
and relations and functions are there. Now, suppose we have, say, I give two statements. The first statement is every relation is a function.
okay, sir.
Every relation is a function. This is one statement. And the second statement is every function is a relation. So you have to tell like which of these statements is true and which of these statements is false.
Sir, every relation is the function, sir.
Every
Every relation is the function. First statement is the true.
Okay, and every function is a relation. Is this statement true?
No, sir.
Okay, can you explain me like why the first statement is true and why? What's the difference between a relation and a function?
Function in the sense we can define some range,
Hmm.
sir.
Hmm.
Some
And
range.
relation, relation. No.
Exactly, I don't know sir, the relation.
Relation. Okay, I think you need to go through all this 11th and 12th. Have you gone through the books, NCRT, CBSE books?
I refer those books, sir.
So can have this. So can you do one thing like first go through the books, right? Even ninth and 10th. In ninth and 10th, okay, they have like geometry is there. In geometry also is there. Basically, in ninth and 10th triangles, they have the similarity of triangles and the congruency of the triangles. Can you tell me the difference between the similarity and the congruency? Suppose if I say a triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF, this is one statement, right? And another statement is triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. So, what's the difference between these two statements? Or suppose in 10th only they have the topics like quadratic equations is there, polynomials is there. In quadratic equation, what's the general form of a quadratic equation?
Ax square plus bx plus c, sir.
Okay, ax
Equal
square
to
plus bx plus c. And
equal to.
what are the values that a, b, and c can take?
Can take any values.
Okay, it can take any value. Now, suppose if I give you one quadratic equation, say x square minus 5x plus 6. X square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. This is one quadratic equation.
Yes, sir.
What's the meaning of the 0 of, or how will you find the 0 of this quadratic equation?
Sir, zero is root now, sir.
0 is the root. So what will be the roots of this quadratic equation?
There are two roots for this equation, sir.
What will be the two roots?
2 and 3, sir.
2 and 3. So how you got 2 and 3? The what the equation you have taken? X square
Minus 5x plus 6 equal to.
minus 5x plus 6. So how you have solved it?
Sir, based on the formula, sir.
Hmm. Which
Minus b
form? Okay,
minus b
minus
plus
minus b plus minus under root b square
b
minus
square
4ac.
minus 4ac by 2a.
That okay, that formula. Any other method that you can use to solve this equation?
This formula is only for the equation contains two roots.
Hmm. No, there are some other ways also, like a factorization method is there to solve the quadratic equation.
Sir, which one, sir?
Factorization method, or generally we say like a splitting the middle term method.
I don't
Is
know.
there in the book, in NCRT syllabus, even in CBSE and ICSE books. No, what I understand is the concepts and all, okay, you know, but the thing is, the topics that generally is required for the students, now, I think you need to go through the books. And I think it won't take much time for you to like to just go through the 9th, 10th and 11th, 12th books. And then can you do one thing? I will send you the link for 9th and 10th standard books, and even 11th and 12th. You just go through that. So just first take 9th and 10th only, like don't take 11th and 12th. Just first take 9th and 10th, and then when you feel like okay, I'm comfortable with all the topics, like after 2 days, after 3 days, after a week, after 15 days, then we can have one more session like this.
Okay, sir.
right? So what I understand, like after talking to you, concepts and all, it's okay, you know the thing, how to solve the problems and all, but actually what and all the topics are there, what are the different ways of solving the problems, what are the different formulae and all. Once you go through all this, it won't take much time. It will just take 2 3 days to finish all these things, because concepts and all everything, you know, right? And once you feel like okay, you are comfortable with the topics and the contents what they have, one similar session we can have sometime later, maybe next week, somewhere next week.
Okay, sir.
Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.